It's cloudy. We're due for rain. They said rain for most of today. So we'll see what happens. It is, let's see, what's the temperature out? 72, which is, let's see, metric, 22 Celsius. So it's warm. It's a warm day. Hey, Sparky. It is a warm day. Holiday weekend here. We have our 4th of July holiday on Monday, so no work on Monday, 3-day weekend. So time to get stuff done. Usually, yard work, whatever. Depends how hot it gets. If it gets really hot, then it's going to be tough. But usually this is a weekend of picnicking and stuff like that. So link is out there. I just have to get some coffee in me. One thing I didn't realize, if I'm on the other app, that WhatsApp thing or whatever, I can't do StreamYard at the same time because they're both fighting for the microphone. So I didn't realize that. I was trying to log on here for a few minutes. It wouldn't let me do it. So looks like gas is going down a little bit. $4.79 for regular. That place was up to about $5 a few weeks ago. So it's gone down a little bit. Gulf Coast here. Hello, Pete Froud. Get your cow. Hey, everybody. 76 down there. Yeah, that sounds nice. But we'll get the humidity too. So 70s, 80s feels like 90s, 100s with the humidity. But like I said, holiday weekend, not a lot of people on the road. My dealer's closing early today because of the holiday. I think he's only open till 12, Justin told me. And they're closed Monday for the holiday. So, John Perks, hello, 439. Oh, that's not bad, Gulf Coast, 439. Barry's here. Barry, yeah, that's a good price. Hello, John. Everyone's saying hello. Hey, Henry, how you doing? Yep, got the shirt on, Henry. Got Henry's shirt on. All right, let's see. Yeah, not too many people out today. Holiday weekend. My son is going down to the Jersey Shore. My sister-in-law has a place next to the Jersey Shore, so he'll be there all weekend. He's getting picked up by his uncle and cousins. They got a 3-hour drive. We're about 3 hours from. They're in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Nice area, nice beaches, boardwalk, stuff like that. Be a fun weekend for them. It's supposed to be lousy today, but nice on Sunday, Monday. So that ought to be good. Just making sure there's no police officers around. They usually like to hide here around the border of Trumbull and Monroe. As soon as we hit Monroe, we call it Hazard County because generally they're on the border. There's usually like a firehouse on the border, and they sit there. Here's our Amazon warehouse where all the Amazon. Guess who's backing me? Yeah, an Amazon truck. And it's funny, when I've been coming here the past few weekends, we haven't been barraged by Amazon trucks. Usually I park at Dutchess and 10 Amazon trucks pull in. I don't know if they said something or what, but usually there's tons of Amazon trucks. There really hasn't been the past month. So let's see who else we got in here. Oop, I lost the comments. Where are we? Backward Small Engines. Taylor, how you doing? Almost there. Yeah, see, there's a firehouse coming up on the right, and that's usually where the cops hide. Right there. They usually like to hide right there. I don't know if you see him back of me in the mirror. Got the Amazon in back of me. All right, we're heading here. Here's L&R, my favorite power equipment dealer. And next door, we got Duchess. All right. We're here. Okay. Let me get my breakfast ordered. I will be back with you all. Yeah, look at my belly. I'll be back with you all in a minute. Yeah, can I get a number 2 with a large coffee, just cream?
Number 2, which is large coffee, just cream?
That's it.
All right, it's going to be $7.72.
Thank you. $7.72. Here. There we go. Last time I came, they gave me a coffee with a lid that didn't seal. It got all over the place. Somebody's in the basement. Give me 1 second. Thank you. Hey, morning,
Hey,
Tom.
Ken.
How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Not too bad. Take care of your old man.
What's that, old man?
Your father. You said you were doing something with your father?
Oh, yes. He's got a
you.
Mountfield lawnmower, and the little 2 nipples that are on the blade adapter broken off. And it's a self-propelled drive. And I think on that one, correct me if I'm wrong, you'll know, the belt for the self-propelled mechanism's actually on the blade
Adapter.
Yeah. So
it's one piece. It's one piece.
One piece. Yeah. So I explained.
Although I don't know about Mountfields though. I mean, I have seen mowers that have a pulley that goes on for the drive and then the adapter. So you have to check. Most of them, yeah, it's a one piece with the pulley on top.
It is. I had a look at what I think is the right part, but with those sorts of belts, there's no way to actually. Hey, Henry. Hey, partners.
How you doing, guys?
You literally pull them off by hand, or is there a way to detension that?
Generally, they have not much tension to start with. You tension. Well, no. Okay, let me rephrase that. Is this a gearbox where when you pull the bail, it pulls a lever on the gearbox, or it pulls tension on the belt in the gearbox?
That's a very good question. I have absolutely no idea. I only literally saw under the mower.
Yeah, because if it pulls a lever on the mower, yes, you have to loosen it somehow because the belt is tight. But still, I'm usually able to get a screwdriver or something, stick it under, and then walk it off.
Yeah. Oh, that makes complete sense. Depends whether you're tensioning the belt for the drive or whether you're engaging the gearbox.
It's shifting, exactly. Yeah. Usually the higher end ones, it's always tensioned and you're hitting the lever.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that, mate. I'll certainly check it out.
Yeah. Well, you'll definitely know the minute you see it, the belt will be floppy if it's one of those tensioner things.
Yes, that's a very good point. Yeah, I'll have to. At the moment, he took the blade off, and I explain to him what to do, but obviously having that drive, the whole screen was so pixelated. I was trying to figure out what was going on. But anyway.
Yeah, I had one of those one time. It was a Sunday. I didn't have an adapter. I ended up drilling 2 holes and putting a couple of screws in there, tapped holes. I tapped it and had some screws stick out and act like the pins, you know?
Yeah. Are they shear pins, technically? So they're designed to shear if you hit
No. Well, no, they're alignment pins to align the blade and keep the blade from spinning freely.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure if they were designed to shear if you hit something.
They probably would, but since most of them are made of steel, it probably wouldn't, you know?
Yeah.
Most people, though, they put the blade on, they forget to put them in the holes, then they keep rubbing them down as they're mowing, you know?
Yeah, Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, I'll mention it to him. I think he wants to try and mow for the time being without those 2 little pins, and he'll just try and tension the thing up. But I don't know how it'll go. If it's short grass, I don't know.
Now, does he have a big garden, big lawn?
Big lawn, but he tends to keep on top of it. It's not overgrown by any means.
So, Parky, Henry, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, Ken?
Waiting for the rain. Did you get it yet, Henry?
What's that?
Did you get any of this rain yet?
Yeah, it was thunder, lightning last night. Oh, my God. Yeah.
We didn't get a lot, but they're saying today on and off for half of the day.
Yeah, well, it stopped now, but last night it woke me up, about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's dry out here, so it must have been late.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Where's my breakfast? What's going on? Oh, that's seriously. Usually they give it to you in about 2 minutes because I'm late. It's already 20 of 7 here.
Yeah, I was wondering where you were.
Well, it was one of those days. My kid's going to Jersey, and I didn't know if I was going to sleep in or what. And
yeah.
We'll see. My sister-in-law's got a place down in Point Pleasant over by the boardwalk.
Mm-hmm.
And really, really nice this time of year. My kid hasn't been there, oh my gosh, in about 7 years. Because they rent it. They get so much money for renting beach houses, you know?
Right.
So nowadays they take advantage of the rentals, you know? I bet you they get about probably $3,000 a week to rent it. Yeah, but you're right next to the beach on the Atlantic Ocean in New Jersey. There's a boardwalk, all kinds of stuff to do.
Yeah.
So,
I can believe it.
Yeah, it's about $450 a day, which is about
sounds very desirable.
Oh yeah, it's called Point Pleasant. Real nice area. Yep.
Well, you know, that coil that I can't find, right?
Thank you.
For the GX35 hedge trimmer.
Oh yeah, those are a bitch.
Yeah, John sent me a listing of coils that could be used from this guy named Barry E.
Barry Ewald?
Yeah,
he's on. I think he's on now.
Oh, okay.
Oh
yeah, there he is. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank him for those coils. I'm going to investigate that. And then also the Greasy Shop Rag sent me a whole listing too, because he also is a Echo dealer, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What I'd like to find, though, is I just did a bunch of those strimmers the other day, the SRM 225s. And every one of them had the broken choke lever, that orange choke lever, but you have to buy the whole housing assembly. You can't just buy the little lever. And I talked to Bree Chicanix, and she's the dealer, and I asked her, I said, can I just buy that lever? And she's like, nope. So, and the housing, where'd it go? The housing, I believe, you can get them, Amazonian, excuse me, for like $10, $12, but I don't know.
Sorry, go for it, partner.
I'm saying I could get them cheap if you bought them in bulk. You buy 4.
Well, I think they have Chinesium ones, which doesn't matter, just a choke lever. But I think they had them for like $10 if you buy 5, 10 each. All right, let me get my glasses on, see who's here. All right, I'm a little behind in the chat here. Hold on, let me scroll back. All right. Holy cow, there's a lot of shit. Oh my gosh. I missed a lot of people. Wow. Jesus H. Holy crappy. All right, Simone is back. Parky's here. McCarty's here. Motor Coach. Everyone say hello. Chris is here, Ontario.
Hey, Simone.
Let's see. Taylor. Everybody. Tim. Mark Wiley. Hello, Mark. Timmy. Mick. Tim. Taylor. Mark,
Hello, Blackwoods.
Pete, oh, Pete says you can slip a belt off on Mountfield. Okay.
Oh, thanks,
There you
Pete. Appreciate that, mate.
Yeah. So hello. Where's Mendit Man? I don't know. Probably harvesting cucumbers. Let's see. Brampton,
What's it in the
Ontario.
chat?
Waterloo. Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Oh, let me plug in the power before it cuts me off.
How are you today, Henry, mate?
I'm fine. I'm fine. It's getting warmer here, and what do you call it? Humid, you know.
Yeah, sticky.
So yeah, today I don't plan on doing too much because really it's mucky and wet out there, and it's humid.
Yeah. Have you
And
got
then-
air conditioning?
Right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mine hasn't shut off.
Yeah,
How's it not? Oh,
yeah.
good
If you
stuff.
leave the house and go out there, it's like boom, you know.
Hey,
Yeah,
David.
it hits you, doesn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How about you, partner? How are you today, mate?
First Saturday, I'm not doing anything. I've either been away at whichever caravan or last Saturday or at a wedding.
Oh, okay.
We're caught up. All right.
That's good.
So
I've got to get this cup of tea done, and then I'll go get the computer.
I don't have my hat
Yes, I
here.
made a
So
video.
I'll
Said
just say
wedding.
good day. All right.
You're right. Yeah, I can't wear one of those Aussie hats today. It's far too cold.
How cool
What's
is it over there?
Yeah. What's that?
Well, it's about maybe 13 to 15 degrees during the day. Probably 15 degrees during the day, 10ish to single figures at
Well,
night.
15
Celsius
degree.
days.
15 is what, about 58, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you're probably quite close.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hey, Dick.
Let's see.
I think Dick on your panels lately.
Yeah, once in a while, but let's see. Temperature, Celsius.
That's only been able to catch a live Ken for quite a while.
Yeah, 1.5. It's 59. You're saying that's cold, Tom?
That's
Oh.
nice.
Freezing.
15 Celsius? Oh my God, I'd be in shorts and no t-shirt. Oh my God.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's a funny thing because the air is so dry here. There's no humidity. You can really feel the cool weather. But if there's a bit of humidity, like in England when it's 15 degrees, as you say, that's a nice temperature. But you could almost take sort of 7 or 8 degrees off just the humidity, add on just for humidity.
All right, so cheers, mates.
Cheers. I'm just halfway through brewing it. Oh, that's hot.
So let me ask, what kind of tea do you like? I know everyone here has preferences.
Yeah, I'm
a good Yorkshire tea.
Yeah, I'm a stickler for a Yorkshire tea.
Yeah, and I'm a convert.
How are you?
Yeah, well, couple of Honostatic caravan, we get to stay in for cheap. Cheap. She has Yorkshire tea.
Yeah.
So she converted me to Yorkshire tea. Gail, she's been a family friend for a long time, and husband to be Honostatic.
Yeah. Funny.
Oh, check this out. Yesterday, my mother calls me up in tears, right? And I think I've told some of you guys, my brother is sort of like estranged. We haven't talked to him in 11 years. He just disappeared off the face of the earth, okay? And it was during the time my daughter was sick. He actually came up to visit to, give his wishes and all that stuff. But then we didn't hear from him. 11 years. I haven't heard from him. He, out of the blue, he calls my mother yesterday from Greece, of all places. And I don't know if he's on business there, holiday or what, but he's all in tears, this and that. So obviously there's going to be a reunion soon. He's going to be coming up, I guess, to say hello to the family. But imagine that, 11 years, we didn't even know if he was alive or dead. Now all of a sudden it's like, geez. So we'll see. Who's in the basement? Somebody in the basement. Let me see. We got Mr. Sparky. Hello, Spark.
Hello.
Hey up, Sparky.
Hey, I think that sourdough is getting a little old, Spark.
Yeah, it's a little sour.
Well, I've done another one today, so don't worry.
Well, the M5 never gets old.
Well, all I can say to you, tea we have is Rington's tea in the in this magical house. We've just got
Ring-
400 tea bags, and they won't last us a month.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
decent
Whoa,
tea.
whoa, whoa.
Sparky. I won't knock it.
400.
Decent
Yeah.
brand of tea. I will not knock any of them. Just,
How many do you use a day, Spark?
Well, we use 2 in a teapot. We have 4 teapots. You work at the maths
Oh,
out. You know
the
what
old-fashioned style, like the square tea bags.
I mean? These ones, yeah.
A couple in a teapot.
Yeah, the teapot. We use a proper teapot. We don't use any other ones. And yeah, about 400 tea bags at the moment. We went through in 1 month. So yeah, not bad.
No. Wow.
Funny you should mention about the shape of them, Partners, because in Australia we can actually buy Yorkshire tea. However, it comes from the
Round.
UAE or something.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different blend to the Yorkshire tea that you can get in England.
It's a mixed blend. They call it a mixed blend, so they're dark blend.
Oh, okay. Well, the long and short of it is, I actually ended up finding a company that imports Yorkshire tea from England to Australia to actually get the proper stuff.
Yeah, because
So
it's
you've heard of that before, Sparky?
Yeah, well, it's called mixed blend tea. They call it, and it's basically just as they call it, leftover teas. You're not supposed to say it that way, but that's what most people say on the old. The tea expert on the TV the other day was on about it.
Oh, really?
They're on about teas.
It's branded as Yorkshire tea.
Yeah, but don't forget Yorkshire tea is 9 brands in one.
Oh, 9 different.
Yes.
When you say
Of
9
course,
brands,
yeah,
9
it's just
different types of tea?
Yes.
Oh.
Different brands, different things. And they
it's a
all
blend.
tea. You've got different blends for everything. A mixed blend they use for certain ones. It's like we use Ringtons. There's 6 blends of Ringtons you have. So you've got to get the right one. We stuck with this one, and it's cheaper buying this than going to a supermarket.
Gosh. How come you don't buy loose leaf
You
tea?
used to see vans delivering Rington's tea.
Definitely.
Where my mum, where I lived when I grew up, and my mum still lives in the same house. Next door neighbour had Rington's tea delivered.
Yeah, I've done that many times. Loose tea is
Because
fantastic. We've got
escort
loads of
vans.
it. Yeah.
The
They're nice vans. Yeah.
Yeah, they had Ford Escort vans back then.
Yeah, loose tea is fantastic.
No, good. I just wasn't sure why you had a teapot and then used the tea
we've
bag.
got loose tea pots, but then we have a proper an Italian coffee maker as well. Where we use
little mocha.
ESP pods, we call it ESP pods, and literally we use that, and it saves us money because we buy in bulk over 6 months. It pays literally. You don't have to pay no tea, nothing. Nothing.
Sorry, I thought you meant literally a proper.
If I wanted, I could go to Costco and get the big packs of tea bags.
Yeah.
When you said proper Italian, that's what I thought.
I've got one of them as well. I've got the larger one of them, Tom.
Trouble is, my nearest Costco is about 20 miles away.
Yeah, that's
in
the problem.
Leeds. It's in Leeds, so
yeah.
I'm not over there often.
No.
Obviously, office is in Leeds, but I'm still working at home.
Yeah, but the thing is to see, we go through that. We like hot chocolate in the winter time, but we don't buy the Cadbury's one. We buy it's called a cocoa blend.
Hey, it's Scott.
Yeah,
Right.
how you doing?
Scott.
Hey, mate. I tell you what, a good hot chocolate Sparky right now would be amazing. I didn't even
We have
think
it with
about
marshmallows, whipped cream on ours.
that. Oh, don't. That's fatal.
It is fatal, but once a week it's allowed because I have it with my nice crumpets, homemade crumpets.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no right or wrong. If you prefer coffee, that's your preference.
I don't
That's
think I've
fine.
had the hot chocolate since I was 12.
Oh, I like the Costa's hot chocolate when they've got a good one in.
Really?
And they've got a really good. The last time they changed it to this American blend. They call it American blend hot chocolate. It was really bitter. And I said to them, "What you changed it for?" I said, "Because it's like they didn't add enough milk, they didn't add enough sugar to it, they didn't have nothing to it." I was like, I blame Ken for it.
I tell you though, some people like to make the hot chocolate with just the cocoa powder and milk, and then add sugar to their taste.
That's it. Coffee Duffy might be gold.
Who adds coffee? Who adds sugar to hot chocolate?
No, if you make it
with the unsweetened cocoa powder. You know, there's no
Oh
sweetener.
yeah,
from
yeah.
scratch.
Pure
Yeah,
cocoa
yeah,
powder,
I got-
yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Hey, Artie.
I'm used to those packs you used to buy, like, what is it,
Swiss Miss. Remember
Miss?
Swiss Miss? Yeah.
Yeah.
With the little marshmallows in them.
Marshmallows. No, Ken, you gotta understand. My father was a cheapskate. He was raised by a cheapskate. I'm a cheapskate. I was raised by a cheapskate. We ain't paying that extra $2-3
Right,
for
I'm gonna
marshmallows.
get away with this one. Just we are an over 18 stream, aren't we? I'm gonna get away with this one. I wonder if it's gonna work.
Well, Scott, you're not the
is
only
there.
cheapskate.
Hey, Thomas.
Got two
Hope all is
Yorkshiremen on the panel.
Aye.
well. Now, when you say Yorkshire, where
I think you
exactly is
qualify.
Good
Yorkshire?
morning.
Where is Yorkshire?
North of England.
Nothing. Yeah. No. Up north. Up north. Aye. Up
Up
north.
north. There's this very famous, I'm sure everyone from England would know this, but there's this very famous book that you typically learn at GCSE level called A Kestrel for a Knave. And,
Oh yes, I'm very familiar with it. Very, very familiar with it, and I've got the film on DVD. They made a film of the book. Yeah, I've read the book. It was written by Barry Hines.
Yes, that's it, mate. Yeah, and the DVD
But
is so good.
The film's called Kes.
Yeah,
it was,
that's
it was directed by Ken Loach. It's a brilliant film.
You do know well.
But yeah, it was filmed in Barnsley.
What's it about?
It's about a young boy who lives in a he lives with his mum and his older brother. She's a single mother, and his older brother works in the coal mine and hates it.
Sparky, that looks obscene.
And anyway, it steals a kestrel chick from a nest, and he trains it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
but
honestly,
his life's basically shit. He has a shit life. He gets bullied at school, and all teachers are bar stewards, including headmaster.
It's Toad in a Hole, by the way.
He's always getting into trouble.
It's called Toad in a Hole, the back of it.
I think what's so lovely about it is that it's so relatable.
Training his best escape from the grim reality of his life.
Yeah,
I think what
I like so much.
That's how I know. That's how I know about it.
The thing that I like so much about it is
I think
it's so
I've
relatable.
got the DVD to hand.
Henry, what is that GX35 on? What is it actually on?
Got it here.
The GX35 is on that Mantis.
Oh, okay.
Hang on.
That's so funny that you just got it.
Well, remember, we call him Parkopedia.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm full of useless knowledge.
That's so good. That's so good, partners. Honestly, anyone that's watching this, I highly recommend watching it because
definitely.
It's one of those timeless movies that you can relate to, especially if you grew up in a bit of a rough area or you had a bit of a rough upbringing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so is it?
Now, is it a tearjerker? Is it a tearjerker?
Oh, I wouldn't say so. No.
No, but you can relate to it. Honestly, I'm not even from up there, but I can still watch. It's great. It really is. You put it on.
But teachers are all bastards and stuff.
I wonder if it's on Netflix.
Nah, wouldn't be.
How old is the movie? Is it an older movie?
Sure. I'll
You
find
reckon
out.
it could be?
The film's called Kes, Kes.
Heck, it could be on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
It might be.
I mean, they got everything else on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny that you had the DVD just to hand like that, partner. So
Well, I've got most of my DVDs here. Mine, except for my Bond films.
What's that?
But the good films. I've got all sorts.
Wow, that's an old film, 1969.
Yeah, 1969. Yeah, yep.
Wow.
Yeah, honestly, mate, you watch it, you'll be
But
be
it
able
reflects
to.
the time as well, because what they do in school then it wouldn't be acceptable today. It wouldn't happen today.
Yes.
Yeah, they got Netflix has it. I just checked Netflix. If you go on Netflix and
you got to
search,
watch it.
They
They
have it on
actually have it. Oh, my,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm
You have
wrong.
you have to
Gosh.
hit the search though on Netflix. Search for it.
Yeah.
But it's there.
But I think some editions of the film they've dubbed it so you could understand
Oh, you,
it.
you
know.
could also watch it on Amazon Prime. Amazon has.
Oh
it,
wow,
too.
Oh, it's
not
on
too
Amazon
bad then.
Prime.
It
That's
says
so
it says it's
funny.
on Amazon Prime too.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I said there are all sorts of motion pictures.
That's
There's
what's
another
new.
one called
What's the name of the movie? I missed it.
Kes, Kes.
Heads.
But Ken Loach is still alive. He's a brilliant director. Because there's a scene where in Ed Master's office and it gets a real reaction from a kid who's been caned. Because
Yeah.
he can't tell the kid who's
If
been
he's still alive,
caned.
if he's still alive when he made that 1969, how old is he? 98.
I'll tell you, look, the director, Ken Loach, just a look, he's knocking on a bit.
Oh, it shows them getting their hand slapped by the headmaster.
Yeah, honestly, it's a
86.
timeless movie, and it's like if you haven't, they had such little money. They're all working in the mines at the time. It was a rough upbringing,
Yeah.
and you could just watch it, and it was just, it's great. It really is
But
great.
it was a coal mining town was Barnsley. But basically his
Oh,
older
interesting.
brother who abuses him, you know,
Yeah, he's horrible to him, isn't he?
is yeah.
I think I'll get
and
Mrs.
basically
Potty
everyone's
Mouth and
horrible
watch
to
that
him
tonight.
except for
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very
Cool.
charming.
Yeah.
My
I don't
dad
know how we
used to
got on
work
that.
in-
Yeah.
My dad used to work in a coal mine. He was in Belgium, you know, and that's
cool.
why he sent us. Well, he packed us up to come to the United States. He didn't want his kids working in the coal mine, you know.
Oh, yeah. Don't
Oh,
Wait.
hey, it's it's funny. The guy who played Billy, I remember him because
David
he's
Buckley.
still around today.
yeah, he is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he is, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
does interviews. you
Ken
get
Loach
an
is
interview from him.
86.
Yeah, they say you could watch it on Peacock too, the NBC stream. It's on that one
That's
too.
really. I'm going to watch it again. I used to. Not only did I watch it, read the book. It was just.
Well, what's
just
this?
yeah.
Hey, good afternoon, Mick Mowers.
Interesting.
Good afternoon,
Mick,
everyone.
Hey, Mick. What's up, Mick?
Mick will know about
We're
it. He
right
probably
back.
did it. It's good. Yeah, it is. It really is, isn't it, Simone? I don't know how we got on it, but I'm really passionate about it because I loved it when I was younger.
You were young once.
I'm only 30. I'm only 30.
How you doing?
I
Mick?
feel old. I do today. I'm
Oh, to be-
40-ish.
To be 30 again. Oh my God.
I wouldn't want to be. Come on, I would not want to be 30
Yeah,
again.
Briggs,
and have to
remember
start-
this? You're 97, aren't you, Briggs? You know what I mean? You was during the war, Uncle Albert.
I'm not 97 there, old
You
Bart.
remind
You're
me of
older than me.
Albert. You know what I mean? Uncle Albert from Oldie Fours and Horses. During the war.
Nah, I'm not no 90 something, but I'll tell you something. There's no way in hell would I want to go back to 30. Then I'd have to work another 20 some years, almost 30 years again. Hell no.
Yeah,
Is
but
it
I'm
funny,
saying,
isn't
wait. Would you go back if you knew then what you know now?
Yeah.
You know
I
what
would
mean?
go.
That's
Oh,
different.
sure. No, yeah, if I knew all the winning lottery numbers from the time I was 30 to now, hell yeah, I'd go back.
Too bloody right.
That's not how it works.
I just think if you asked people 30 years ago what they think the world would be like now, no effing way they did get it, you know?
No, they thought their
Oh,
things would be.
I'll believe you. If I could go back to the same year when I was 30, right now, zip back. Hell, I'd be a billionaire anyways because of the stocks I would be buying that have tripled. I put it this way, Corning Incorporated, I'm sure everyone's heard of Corning Glassworks, you know, like, and Corning Corelware and that. Their stock when I was in my early 20s was $7.50 a share.
Yeah.
It went from $7.50 a share to over $900 a share before they collapsed.
Hmm.
Mick,
No, we
I
used to
was
make,
just saying that-
Scotty, we used to actually make machines for Corning. When I worked at Moore Tool, we made machines for the Glassworks division.
Yeah.
And we made what they call ruling engines for them as well, for fiber optics and stuff like that. So we know Corning. In fact, my last vice president where I worked is now vice president of Corning. But he's at Corning Glassworks, that part of it.
Man.
And I think
There
it's
is no
called
Corning
Industrial
Glass.
Park.
Bad man.
Well, no,
Yeah,
it's
but
a
it's not-
division.
There is no Corning Glass Works, Ken. Corning sold their glass making division entirely. All they are is Corning Inc. They're
but I'm
into
just saying,
fiber
but
optics.
they have a technology park or something. It's called like a research park. where they
It's
do all
called
the
Sullivan
R&D and-
Park. It's called Sullivan's.
Yeah, that's it. That's where he works. Yeah, he works up there.
Oh, really? Yeah, he don't live that
Yeah.
far from me then.
Yeah, he moved from here. Yeah, good money they said. So, Mick, what's going on?
Mick,
brother?
how you doing, Mr. Mick?
Oh, it's good to see you.
Riley! Hi, Riley.
Hey.
Right, boy.
Hey, Marcus.
Tom, what was you saying? Mick knows all about it. What was that? Just
What's that?
come on.
You just
Oh,
know
about the
about
movie.
a Kestrel for a Knave. You would have done it. You would have done it
Kes.
at school. You would have known about
Kes.
GCSE.
Oh, no, about what?
GCSE, Kestrel for a Knave.
A Kestrel for an A?
Knave, Knave. Kes, the movie. GCSE, school? No?
Oh, yeah.
Rings a bell, does it?
Well, the giving out the beatings did, yeah.
You've seen it then, yeah. We were
I've
talking
seen
about it earlier.
I actually had a very Victorian style headmistress in my primary school, and she wasn't privy to not handing out a bit of a back slap and a ruler.
Seriously. God.
Oh yeah. My schooling was primary school anyway, was
Rough.
tough, man. Yeah, it was tough. She wasn't. Yeah, you if you did something wrong, you didn't stand on the line. You stood on the line, holding your ear, because you whacked up by the ear roll with her hand.
I found
Yeah.
I found Mick's headmistress.
Mine was worse. I tell you something. I wouldn't be the one bending over if that was my headmistress. My headmistress was a right old battle axe. Really was a horrible woman.
Now, hey, over there,
Guys,
when did they stop whacking you?
Hey, Mr. T.
Oh.
Hello, Sue.
I'm a lucky man, right? Look at Hank. Hank, control yourself, man. What's up with you? Hank goes all goosey. See Mrs. T. Terrible.
Now,
I
hey,
thought,
when did they stop doing the fingers, like whacking you over there?
But
'Cause they still
technically,
did that here. You know, wow.
technically, it was before I went to school. Definitely, you know. But it was still very common. Not necessary to get the cane, but I can remember. These aren't just old stories. My teacher, she used to make you sit at the desk with your non-writing hand, and your hand had to be on the desk like so.
Yep.
So you were writing with one hand, and the other hand had to be on the desk. And if you weren't behaving yourself, you had a ruler, half meter long, with little tiny brass cover inserts on the end.
Ooh.
And if you weren't doing as you were told, when you got it right across the knuckle, and you used to get a lot of low-flying wooden blackboard dusters as well. But
Yeah.
Incoming. Let's go across. But to be fair, I was no angel at school, which I know some of you may find that hard to believe.
No, come on.
Nah, come on.
We used to have these. Oh, you must have had them in your era, Hank and Ken. You know, and Mr. Briggs. Not that old. Do you ever had the big revolving blackboards, the big ones that used to revolve?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was green on one side, black on the other.
So ours were all black. As I'm saying, there was only 35 kids in my entire school when I went to school. Right, it was a real old Victorian Roman Catholic school. So what we used to do to wind the teachers up is that we would push the board halfway back, so she'd have to bring it down to finish the work when she went out at lunchtime. But we'd hang buckets of water over the other side of it. So when she revolved it over, yeah, it's hilarious.
What did she do? Did she like whip the whole class then, or what?
So I can. One of my punishments was this happened just after breakfast time, so about 10 o'clock. I misbehaved, and she frog marched me down to the dining hall. And we have these massive, big Victorian wardrobes, if you like, cupboards, huge things, well, they would appear huge. I was only about 4 foot tall, but they were huge. And she crammed me in the gap between two of them, and I could only just fit. And she crammed me in there, and she said, "You stay there until I come back for you." Okay, so I stayed there. It was 3:30 in the afternoon when she came back.
Wow.
And she had completely forgotten all about me. All the kids had come in, they had their lunch, no one saw me, and I sat there from 10 o'clock to 3:30, didn't move.
Wow.
So when my dad found out,
Disgusting.
my dad wasn't very happy about that. I got one upside the ear roll for misbehaving in class anyway, as standard. And then my head mistress got the severest of tongue lashings you can imagine.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
she tried to butter it up. So I'll have your lunch now. I said, no, I ain't hungry. I've gone past my dinner. You wait, the old man gets
So
over
let
you.
me ask you though, what did you go to the bathroom on yourself?
Oh yeah, wet myself. Yeah, had to.
Yeah.
Talk-
I was gonna say 5 hours. Yeah.
I wasn't going to move.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh yeah.
If that was my father would have went in there. He would have kicked the shit out of the principal first. Then he would have smacked the woman and then
it's
taken
pretty
me home
much-
and beat me up.
It's pretty much what happened. Apart from the violence, because I had a head mistress. We didn't have principals. We had a head mistress and a deputy head.
Or a headmaster.
But my dad, he had a very different upbringing. Strong Irish family, so you can imagine the sort of things used to go on in that household. They had a headmaster called Mr. Short, who was extremely tall.
That's funny, isn't it?
And they used to offer back in those days. If you had a choice, you could have the cane across your backside, or you could have 6 of the best, which were across the open hand and across the back end of the hand. So you had 6 on each.
Hell.
Wow.
And when my dad was offered what he wanted, and Dad said, "I'll take 6 of the best, please." So Mr. Short gave my dad 6 of the best across the open palm and across the back of the palm as well.
To your father or to you?
To my dad, not to me, no,
When
to
he
my
was a
dad.
kid.
Really?
To my dad.
Wow.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But they used to.
Wow.
It wasn't punishment, but they
No,
were.
that just sounds so fucked up. You know what I mean? It's like,
Oh man,
wow.
you don't know in the UK, you don't know the half of it, man. So anyway, my dad received 6 of the best from a headmaster, and he said, "Well, boy, have you learned your lesson, or do you want some more?" And my dad very cleanly said, "I'll take another 6 because you've got fuck all on my old man."
Oh, seriously?
He said, "I'll take another 6." He said, "You've got nothing on my dad. I'd rather have another 6."
That's
Because
hilarious.
when my dad got home, he then got 2 foot of hose pipe across the back.
Wow.
So, my
used to think that
dad was abused as a child, as were his brothers and sisters. And when my gran and granddad were too old to issue the punishment, it then fell upon the oldest child to issue the punishment. And my dad could have had a brilliant day, right? He could go up the woods, built a camp, and took some meat and some beans, and had a little day out on his, whatever. Had a really good day. And if his brother Ian had got up to trouble, when my dad got home, they all got it, irrespective of what sort of day you've had. You could have been out with the Queen.
Wow.
Right? But if one of the boys or girls had misbehaved, then punishment was due, and they all got it. And then what happened then was, when you went upstairs into the bedrooms after the punishment, you then sat upon the bloke or the girl who got your punishment in the first place.
Wow.
Totally different to. Yeah,
That sounds like a movie in and of itself. Wow.
Mate, like I say, I was no angel, right? You can imagine. So I mean, half the stuff I got, I deserved it really. And to be fair, the other half I didn't get caught for.
Absolutely.
Put this way, Mick, you were compared to me, you were an angel. Guarantee you.
Like I said, Mr. Briggs, the other half I didn't get caught for.
Hey! I couldn't help. I put it this way. Let's. My principal used to say the reason why he retired was because he couldn't use paddles anymore because New York State banned using paddles on kids.
Oh, yeah.
He had a paddle with a custom-made paddle with my name carved in it.
One of my teachers at high school, Mr. Rusnick, although he never used them, he actually had a collection of canes in his classroom on a rack, all the different gauges, because they came in different thicknesses. You see, he actually had a rack full of them there.
My father made the paddle for my principal. I mean, it was. My principal was named Mr. Reed, the ugliest man you ever saw. He had a mustache cut just like Hitler's. I mean, he literally had it squared off to a Hitler stash. We called him Hitler. And
the thing is with paddles, though, Mr. Briggs and Ken.
He had a paddle like that, but my father's was my father made him a custom one.
Yeah, Board of Education. That's
the difference is, though, Ken, is that with the paddles, I would rather have a paddle because a cane would actually split the skin.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It would open you up. Simple.
I'll tell you what, Mick. If I find it, I will show you the paddle my father made my principal, because my father wrapped it in leather and put the rough side, the suede side out, and they used to pull your pants down. My principal would, if you did something wrong, he'd wait till lunch and pull your pants bare butt and like the whole school from kindergarten all the way up to 6th grade, over 300 students see your bare ass get red.
Yeah, that happened at my school too, and it also happened in my house as well. In fact, it was only just before I moved my shed, which would have been 2.5 years ago. I moved my shed, got rid of my old shed. My dad's smacking stick was in my shed.
Oh, I thought you got smacked.
No. I actually took it when I was 16. When I was asked to vacate the family premises after I politely said to my dad, "If you strike me again, I'm going to strike you back." And that's when I was asked.
16.
No, when I was 16.
Oh. When
I was 16, I went to live on a farm because I couldn't live with my dad anymore because he was a very hard Irish man, and I said to him, if you're going to give me a thumping, then you're going to get a thump back. So he asked me to leave, which I did, and I took the smacking stick with me. It was only two. No, I got rid of it in the end. I snapped it in half. Yeah, it was a bit like breaking Harry Potter's wand.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, did you guys use like willow branches, or what did you guys have?
Say again, Ken.
Over here, they used willow branches. But what did you guys use?
Hell no. We used to use willow branches to bite. We used to use willow branches to bite down on. My dad used to have a 4-foot long bit of holly.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Breaking it must have been a liberating moment for you.
It definitely was, Parky. And my oldest brother, not that I want to badmouth my dad, because I love my dad. I just believe that he was only doing what he was taught and what he thought was right. He didn't know any better, although he should have done. He worked 2 jobs, days and nights. He had 4 kids who were a little bit unruly. No money, definitely no money. You know, and the amount of times I used to see the food go on the table, it wasn't uncommon for us to eat out of a big bowl. Because there wasn't enough to go around on the plate. So, or my dad would sit in the front room with no dinner, and we would eat. You know, so looking back, I understand. You know, but I just wish he wasn't quite so bloody tough sometimes.
Yeah. It's funny though, Mick. My mother, when my father passed away, God, it's been 18 years. My mother, would apologize to me. And, I'm so sorry. I said, what are you sorry about? All the times he smacked you, whatever. And I said to her, I said, number one, I don't really remember it, to be honest with you, because you don't remember the real bad times. You don't. And I just, for some reason, I blocked it out. And then she started telling me about some of the shit. And I was like, I don't even remember. I don't, you know what I mean? It's weird. Like I blocked it mentally. I don't know.
Yeah. I can remember pretty much. I can remember pretty much most of mine because you found it very hard to sit down afterwards or lay down. And what my dad used to do, because he worked a night shift, we would play mum up. You know, like you would. Dad's away, might as well play, right? You know. So we'd play mum up, and then she would tell Dad, and then at 4:30 in the morning, Dad would get us out of bed. He'd line us up, pants down. You know, bare ass, bend over, give you one across the backside each, and then say go back to sleep.
Wow.
Well, you try going back to sleep when you're trying to smear onion into your arse because it hurts so much, you know. So I had that.
Wait. Smear onion in your ass? What did you say?
It's a sort of an expression, Ken. You know how much onion stings when you put it into an open cup. Well, this would effectively soothe the pain.
Okay. I thought you were getting into something like John Clem. I didn't want to go there.
No, not cucumber. No.
So your nana, you call her Nana. Is that your?
That's Sue's mum.
Mother? That's Sue's mum. I was going to say she seems so like.
And as they like to say though, the maid.
Yeah, that's Sue's mum. But my dad's actually got scars on his back. You can see they're quite visible and deep. Where my dad was hit by his mum, who's a big, strong, burly Irish woman from Southern Ireland. He's actually got belt buckle marks on his back.
Belt buckle.
Well, my father thing was the belt. He never used a buckle, but it was a leather belt he wore for like 40 years straight. In fact, at his retirement party, we had the belt because that's how I knew my dad. My dad had the same belt for 40 some odd years.
Yeah, my granddad
would take it and go like this with the belt. Make that noise. As soon as you heard that noise, you behave.
But my granddad was a farmer by trade. Little tiny short man, wasn't very well built compared to my grand, but his belt was about 2.25 inches in width, and it had a big solid brass, well not solid, but a solid made brass buckle end. And Gran would say, "Give me a belt, Ranji." He'd take the belt off, and she was the one that used to give it out.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's absolutely. I feel fortunate. I only used to get the slipper occasionally, but I feel fortunate not having to go through any of that stuff.
Well, I do remember, and it does sadden me. I do remember the day like yesterday. It was when my gran died. I never met my granddad, but when my gran died, the boys they all. What about? Who's there? Just go bang on the door, sweetheart. Go and bang on the door and say move your car. I can remember when my gran passed away, all my dad's brothers and sisters lined up for a photograph, which doesn't happen very often in my family. And at the funeral, there was no emotion. There was no emotion at all. And I even remember my Uncle Morris lining up with his brothers and sisters, and all he said was, "The bitch is dead. She can't hurt us no more."
Wow, that's crazy, isn't it?
Mad. And they're like 40 years old. 40 years old. She's dead, but she can't hurt us. So you can imagine the fear, right? The fear in the bedrooms when you knew something was going down, and you knew you were going to cop it.
Yeah. You know what's ironic though? In my house, my dad had the belt, but my mom had the wooden spoon. That was the thing. Because my dad was usually out working 7 days a week, but mom had the wooden spoon. I'll be honest, she broke that thing probably 3 times, either over my head or my ass, because I got a bony ass.
I can remember. Yeah. I can remember when my dad, he once hit my brother Vince, and at the time the stick snapped, and we thought, hallelujah, we're free. The next day we were given a penknife each, and we had to go up into the woods and go and cut our next smacking stick, of which Dad
That's just terrible.
He sat in the front room for about a week, and he skinned it, and he varnished it all up, and he stained it, so let it all dry. So
that is
we had to wait about 2 months before we could use it. But oh my god, the amount of sticks that came back. Oh, that one is that's too bendy. Go back up. Go and get another one.
That's too soft, too small. That's not going to
work. But that's just. I don't hold it against him, but he has apologised. Times were hard, and I do appreciate that. When you've got no money, and lots of people they argue over the things they haven't got, don't they? So money is the biggest culprit for arguments. And my mum and dad didn't have a lot, And when you've got 4 kids to feed, let alone clothe, then it did cause a few rows. And my dad wasn't a heavy drinker, not really. He wasn't a violent man at all. I just think he had a lot on his plate, and that's all he knew.
It would break anyone, wouldn't it? Really, you're trying to bring a family up, no money.
100%. As I say,
Go for it, Mick.
As I say, my dad wasn't a violent man. He didn't go. He didn't go down to the pub, get pissed out of his head, come home and beat mum up. There was none of that ever. But when you misbehave, I'm talking, someone smashed the front door window, and all my dad was thinking was, I can't afford to replace that. So we actually had a board in the front door for about 3 months, and you'll come home from school and the TV was gone. Where's the TV? Oh, it's in for repair. No, what? Because we rented our TV. So it would never go in for repair. But better give you another one. It was simple. No one paid the TV money, couldn't afford it. So before payday, you lost your TV. That's the way it was.
We were fortunate. We had a lot of stuff. Don't get me wrong. We're typical middle class here. But my father was a lineman for the power company, climbing the poles and all that stuff. But he worked 7 days a week. So that's why we had the money. He had all the overtime, but he would never turn it down. We get a call at 2 a.m. Hank, come on in, boom, and then we wouldn't see him for 2 days because once a year though. Go ahead.
My dad was a painter and decorator by trade, and he spent a lot of his time up in London. So he'd be up at say 4 a.m, travel up to London because we never had motorways back in them days like we have now. So it'd take him like 2.5 hours to get to London. He'd do a full night shift, come home, get his head down, 4 or 5 hours sleep, then go and work a day job.
Now, would he have to take all his equipment on the train and go up there? Or?
No, he had what's called a little Sherpa van, which Parker would know what a Sherpa is. Little sliding door Sherpas. It was one of the only vehicles you were allowed, a bit like the DHS vans with the side doors. They're the only vehicle in the UK that technically you can drive with the door open as you're driving. Or back
like a mail truck. Yeah, sort of like a mail truck.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He had one of them, and there would have been 4 blokes in the van, one driving, three sleeping, and we all just took it each night. We took it in turns. Whose night is it off? 3 of them would go in the back of the van, get their head down for 2 hours whilst one was driving. Just times were hard. He used to paint for a company called Woolworths, which was a big firm in the UK.
Woolworths. Well, they had a department store in the States.
Well,
they called it.
They went.
They used to.
They went bust here, but obviously that's who my dad used to paint for Woolworths. But yeah, it's just the way it was. It's just the way of the world. And as I say, I don't hold it against him. He was just doing. Well, okay, let's be honest, right? I didn't turn out too bad, did I? That's a Sherpa, yeah.
You're an all right bloke. Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, though, that I missed. One thing about years and years ago, and I really do miss this, when we were growing up, things were planned as far as you just had certain times of the day. Like, you'd get home from school, you'd have a snack, you'd watch some cartoons or something, and then at 5 p.m. on the dot was dinner.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
My father would walk in that door at 5:50. That last pot better be on the table, and I better be sitting there with my brother and sister ready to dig in. And then at the end, there was no leftovers. We had just enough food where you weren't really hungry, but you could have used an extra pork chop if you had it. But nowadays, when my wife cooks or when anyone I know cooks, there's always tons left over.
Yeah.
We never had that. We weren't poor, but we never had abundance,
Yeah.
When I lived with my stepfather, my mother always overcooked. She had to because my stepfather was a child abuser, a pedophile, a drunk, you name it. And I remember, and you sat at that table. He served himself, ate his dinner in front of everybody. We weren't allowed to touch it. Nothing. We weren't until he was done eating. Then he would sit there and bring out a 12-pack, set it on the table next to him, and proceed to drink a 12-pack while everybody else ate dinner. Wow. I remember one time we sat there. He was sitting there smoking a cigarette, drinking a beer, and they had my mother cook my favorite meal. Chicken and dumplings. It was sitting there. I was smelling it. I was like 10 years old. I said, I'm getting tired of waiting for this guy. I reached over that table. And I wore that chicken and dumplings because I tried to get it before he served himself. But I didn't care. He threw it at me. He picked up the pot, threw a whole boiling hot pot of chicken and dumplings at me. I ducked, it hit the wall. He beat the crap out of me, and we had toast for dinner that night because he threw it at me. And
I can remember. I can remember when
still remember that fight.
I can remember when I got one of my very first jobs, which was they call it a boat boy. I worked down a big rowboat lake in Arundel called Swanbourne Lake. Didn't get a chance to visit Arundel.
Oh.
Visit Swan. Did you know Swanbourne, Tom?
Yes, mate. Yeah. You can rent the little paddle boats.
That's it. So I used to work there as a boy, and
Oh.
about the age of well, you probably saw me. You was about the same age as me, Tom. I used to earn £15 a day for a 12-hour shift with a lunch included, which is a sandwich, packet of crisps, chocolate bar, and a can of pop. It was a 12-hour shift. And when I got home for £15, I had my little tiny brown envelope like you have, took it home. And the very first paycheck I had, I said to Pop, yeah, Pop, earned my first wage today. Look, there you go. He said, come here, boy. He said, let's have a look. Let's have a look. He sat me down on a little, you've got a little wooden stool, which is still to this day, a little footstool. He sat me down. He said, got your name on it? He said, yeah. He opened it up. He said, cool, what have we got in here? He pulled out a £10 note, and then he pulled out a £5. He said, cool, lucky you. He said, you earned yourself £10 today. Okay.
Just took your money.
Yeah. I said, do I? I said, 15. He went, no, 10, he said. He said, you got dinner, electric, water, gas. And he said, so you're £5 down, right? So I swallowed it, right? I thought, fair enough, if he needs it, that's what it is. Anyway, this went on for 6 months, right? And it was only a weekend job, that's all I had. Anyway, he said, where are you going today, boss? I'm going to work. He said, aren't you sick and tired of bloody walking down there? I said, it is what it is. He said, I'll tell you what, tomorrow we'll go down the shop and I'll buy you a push bike. There you go. So next day, got up, went down the shop to a shop called Spokes in Littlehampton. And went in there and said, you can have any bike you like for about 120, 140 quid. Just go and pick one. Wow. I picked this big Falcon mountain bike, 21 speed. It was all singing tires, lovely. And I said, I'll have that one, Pop, please. He said, yeah, righto. And he reached out in his pocket, he pulled out a big stack of fivers. And he went, there you go, paid for it. So all he was doing was saving my money for me. That's all he was doing. And then the old penny dropped, Yeah. So that was cool. But so he did have a heart. He did have a heart, but he's just old school, man. He's just an old school boy that just doesn't know how to show feelings. And now he's getting old. I think he's really struggling with that because now he has to ask for a lot of help.
We lost him.
Sorry,
We lost him.
No audio, Mick.
Can't hear you.
Audio.
No, Mick, we're
No
literally
audio, Mick.
on and off.
Yeah, lost audio.
Lost audio, Mick.
That's it.
I tell you,
Are you back now? Hear me?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's because I had a phone call come in. So when my dad asked me to repair his shed roof, I said, yeah. And he said, it is 40 quid. I said, I don't want your money. Your money's no good to me. And he gets really upset about it because he can't go, oh, cheers, son, they can have a cuddle. He can't do it. He just can't do it. It's not within his.
Cuddle yourself, mate.
I do. I force it on him. He hates it. He absolutely. I said, "Come here, old man. Give us a squeeze." He absolutely. Because now he's like 5'1" he's shrinking as he's getting older. He's got a big 6'2" giant get older. And he hates it. But,
So he's even shorter than Laura then.
He's even shorter than Laura. Hey, how is his knee?
Hey?
Nick, how's his knee? One of your videos.
Yeah,
Recent videos.
he was like a bloody laddie yesterday up in the loft, wasn't he? Tosser.
Oh dear, he's off again.
Now wait, let me ask you a question. Now I see you guys use that word a lot, tosser. What is a tosser?
It's an insult, basically an insult.
Okay.
It's another word. It's another word for a wanker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's used as another word, masturbation word. You toss yourself off. It's generally used as an insult.
Okay.
It's very common.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a. I thought you were Anglophile. Surprised you asked that question.
Who was that for, Ken?
Yeah, I thought you were an Anglophile. You should know these things by now.
Yeah, I'm getting there by association, little by little.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's your unboxing, Nick?
So by the time you get over it, you will not be suffering from culture shock.
What is that, Mick? Looks like a sexual aid.
It's an egg ring. It's an egg ring.
Egg ring for Friday.
Yeah,
I've got
like 3. I've got loads of them in the drawer.
If that goes where I think it does, if that goes where I think it does, Mrs. P is going to be going, ah!
No, these are the ones that Ben can. They're not the solid ones.
Give me 1 second.
Well, I've got to go. I've got my Romanian friend coming around to come see me about a mower.
Oh, nice. All right, see you,
well,
mate.
Conquer this afternoon. I would expect so.
Well, I shall look forward to that one then.
All right, we'll catch you later, Mick.
Later,
See you
guys.
later.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we're just over an hour, so I think I'm going to end it. But thanks to everybody for showing up. What do we got? We got Tom, we got Henry, Parky, Sparky's back there somewhere. Luke and Mr. Briggs. If everyone's around, I'll be on Conkers later. So it's 2:00 your time, right, Parky? 2:00.
Yeah,
I think so. It's like 8:00 UK or 8:00 your time.
You're 5 hours
Or no,
behind.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock your time.
So yeah,
2
it'll
o'clock
be
my
2
time.
o'clock Eastern. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you on
Catch you later.
Conkers.
Bye.
take care,
Later.
guys.
See you guys.